call, please.
Maurice LaRosa.
Here?
Mary Ann Turner, here. Charlie Mastroberti. Andrew Abanowitz.
Here.
Lynn Skull.
Here.
Rob Kwasnicki. Kathleen Poplar. Popper. I know your name. I just want to give you a new one.
A couple of quick things. Fire exits in case of an emergency. There's 2 means of egress out of the council chambers. First one is directly behind you. Walk out, go to the right, go down to the parking lot. Second one is to our left, your right. Go out first door and go downstairs, go straight out into the parking lot. How business will be conducted. The secretary will read the legal notice. The applicant will be asked to come forward, present their application to the board. Questions of the board may or may not happen. Audience will then be given a chance to speak for or against the application. If the audience does speak in favor of the application or speak about the application, the applicant shall be given final opportunity for comment. Any additional information not submitted with the application shall be presented while the public hearing is still open. Once the public hearing is closed, no information shall be accepted for review by the board. Once the application is presented, the public hearing will be closed. The applicant may be seated in the audience. The board will conduct their business, most likely reaching a decision tonight. The applicant is welcome to stay for the remainder of the hearing, but it's not necessary. A variance can be granted where such a grant will not affect the overall purpose of the zoning ordinance and where the strict interpretation of the ordinance will result in a hardship. A hardship exists where the zoning ordinance uniquely affects a parcel of land directly from other properties and where the use of the property or reasonable use of the land would be impossible without the variance. Self-imposed or financial hardships cannot by law be considered for any reason for granting a variance. Madam Secretary, the legal notice, please.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot that, didn't I? Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I guess I should be reading from my agenda, huh?
Hey, Rob.
Now the legal notice, how's that?
Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on Monday, November 27, 2017 at 7 p.m. in the Council Chambers, Town Hall, 820 Enfield Street, Enfield, Connecticut, concerning the following. ZBA number 2017-10-10-06, 4 Connecticut Avenue, requesting a variance to section 5.10, table 5.10, to reduce the minimum required lot area in BL zone to 23,717 square feet, where 30,000 square feet is required. Pride Limited Partnerships, owner applicant, map 035, lot 0106, business local, BL zone, DOR 103017, MOPH 13/2018. Dated this 16th day of November 2017, Mary Ann Turner, Secretary, Journal Inquirer, November 16th and November 24th, 2017.
The applicant come forward, please.
Afternoon.
Evening.
And I'm James Channing. With me is Bob Bolduc from Pride Limited Partnership. For the record, I'm an attorney in Massachusetts. I'm not barred in Connecticut, and so I'm here as the agent or an employee of Pride.
Okay. Just need your name and address for the record.
Certainly. James Channing, 246 Cottage Street, Springfield, Mass.
Robert Bolduc, 246 Cottage Street. Well, that's the office number. My home is 49 Woodsley Road, Long Meadow.
All right, thank you.
So in speaking to town planner, director of planner, I know that there's maybe a legal question that may be pending with respect to this application, but I'd just like to get into a little bit of a background perhaps to let you know what it is we're asking or seeking and in terms of the semantics, how it's written and why it's written this way in terms of the request. I can tell you that Pride currently owns 3 parcels of land that are contiguous in Enfield, that being 2 Connecticut Avenue and then 2 unmarked that abut the Massachusetts state line. We also have under contract 4 Connecticut Ave, which would be an additional parcel, which would be the 4 parcels that we filed on the application. The total square footage of those parcels still is less, and Connecticut still is less than the required 30,000 square foot in the BL zone. And so then there's a question, the first inquiry, I guess, is a question as to whether or not or how the town would interpret a land available in Massachusetts when it comes to determining whether or not 30,000 square feet are available or could be used. And so for the application purposes, again, the land that's located in the town of Enfield is only 23,717 square feet. And so the variance requested on its face would be the 6,283 square feet. Because as it's written, again, in the interpretation, if it was interpreted that no consideration can be given to land in Massachusetts, then that would be the variance that's being requested. However, I can tell you that there is additional, a surplus of the 6,283 square feet available in Massachusetts. And 2 of those lots, in fact, are included on the survey being provided, and those 2 lots would total 5,598 square feet. So then, if those are to,
Can you show it, or are you just going to say it?
Why don't I show
yeah, I'd be more than happy to
I'll
approach her. Bob, perhaps we can do it.
You'll need to use the microphone.
Yes, I will.
Is it one of the plans that you have already given us?
Well, we gave you the legal surveyed one, which is what the code requires. But that doesn't show. Does it, Roger? Is that all better?
So does this include the Massachusetts piece of pie?
Yeah. Let me, I'll, hang the plan that Roger did. And because will make it very helpful to you. Okay? So, Enfield Street, down here. You can see Enfield Street is down here, and Connecticut Avenue is here. This is the state line. So we are the last parcel of this property, or these properties, which we'll get to, are the last Connecticut parcels in the state of Connecticut. They're way north of here, after the adult store and after the McDonald's. Then there's Connecticut Avenue, and then there's our parcels, and then there's the Pride Station. Everybody knows where that is, so that's probably the best way to describe it, but I didn't want to start there. Okay? So we follow where we are?
Right, so
No.
you're telling me the Pride Station is what he's
Pride
calling
Station
2,
is, no, the Pride Station is over here. It's not even shown
not
on
on
that.
there.
Okay? So this is the state line. The dotted line here is the state line. Connecticut on this side, Mass on this side. And the Pride Station starts here on the dark line. It turns out that the state line is actually 16 feet. What everybody thinks is the property line between the Pride Station and Connecticut with the white picket fence is not the state line. It just happens that somebody put the fence in the wrong place. The fence really should go here on the state line, but that's the way it is. So these parcels are what appear to be in Connecticut are actually, some of them are in Massachusetts, but nobody knows that. A portion of them, yes, okay? But that's not the point anyway. The point is this. Right here is the vacant building that was the American Real Estate. Before that, it had many other uses. It's a small, flat roof building that really needs to be torn down. It's been there for many years, and it's been vacant for many years. Behind that, and that parcel's here, and there's an empty parking lot here, which is paved. Parcel 2 is a duplex, which is also vacant, and that faces on Connecticut Avenue. Parcel looks like parcel X is a parcel that we have under contract to buy. And we will buy it and then combine all the lots properly and locate the state line proper, not locate the straight line, but then use the parcels properly. And we're not asking for a variance tonight because we understand we can't ask for a variance on property that we don't own. And we don't own this we don't own all the parcels yet. We haven't bought that one. And so we're really here just looking for some guidance. And we're asking you as professionals, as we would want to be asked ourselves, and that is if we were to buy it and then we came back and asked for a variance, do you think our chances of granting it or being granted that variance would be strong enough?
I'd like to stop you right there for a moment.
Fine.
Roger, I'm not even sure that this is legal or ethical.
Well,
Because
at a minimum, it's very unusual
As we
because
come
there's an
back-
actual there's an actual application for a
right.
variance.
So as we know on this board, we cannot be predetermined in our decision.
Right.
Therefore, we cannot hear tonight's application if they're looking for our opinion, because then when they come in front of us for a variance, we're predetermined.
Right.
So I believe the application has to stop now, because we can't hear what's going on until you're ready to come to us for a variance. We're not like planning and zoning, where you can get their opinion and let them throw things around. We're a board that has to make a decision one way or the other. And the law says that we are not allowed to make our decision until we hear the whole argument of what's going on with the property and why the variance is needed. Therefore, if you ask us our opinion now, and then something happens between now and the time you come for the variance and the decision goes the other way, we're in trouble. Because we've already made a decision. We already told you, go ahead, buy your property, you're all set. Therefore, the board really can't hear this argument or your presentation without being caught in the middle of being predetermined on a decision later on. So I am
get it.
sorry
I
that,
understand.
that you came tonight, but unfortunately, I have to stop the hearing at this
All right.
point.
That's fine. If we were, and Jim wants to say something too, we have no problem if you were to stop the hearing tonight. Could we then have an informal session and just discuss?
Unfortunately, not
thing
with
with you.
this board. You'd
Not
have to
this
do
board.
that with
It's either that or
PZC.
nothing. Okay.
You have to do that between the planner and maybe PZC. You can't do that with this board.
It was my understanding, and again, I got a recent memo this afternoon or this morning from Roger, so again, we're shorthanded. I didn't have a fruitful conversation with him on this. But it was my understanding that there is precedent case law, and again, I'm not as an attorney quoting it, but just in terms of my research, said that you can grant a variance on certain conditions. And a condition of that would be having all 4 parcels combined with
It's-
one owner and one lot.
It would be illegal for this board to grant a variance with a condition that ties another board's hands or that requires another board's action. We can only do what's in front of us. We cannot put a condition on a property or a variance that will require an action from another board because we don't control any other board.
Correct. And so it's my understanding, again, that the only condition that would be asking for upon the variance is that it's conditioned upon the lots being merged
That
with a
is
single owner.
That
And
is
I
an
don't believe
illegal
that-
condition for this board to put on, because what you're asking us to do is give a variance requiring another board to make an action. The action would have to be that they would have to say yes to putting them together. We can't grant a variance based on another board's decision.
I don't believe that another board would need to act, but I defer to your director.
Well, they would
I
have
think
to put the
under
properties
under
together.
Correct, but under the bylaws, there's a doctrine of merger that indicates that if you own it, they shall be combined, but I defer to Roger.
Well, what I would suggest if you'd like, is you can table the project yourselves and then seek a legal opinion on it and then come back in front of us. Or we can just
Yeah, I don't mean
deny
to make you
without prejudice
uncomfortable, which
tonight.
is
So
fine.
whatever
I'm not-
you want to do,
Okay. Well, we would clearly, I think, like this to be tabled. We would clearly like this to be tabled.
okay, then just
Okay?
let the planner
But
know.
not yet. We want to talk for a little bit here.
If it's about this hearing, unfortunately, we can't do it. You have to either table it, or I will seek the motion to make a board to make a motion for
A legal opinion.
a legal opinion or something, or denial without prejudice. But I don't want to move forward with the hearing.
No, it's fine. Can we ask some questions so that we make sure we're going in the right
You would
direction?
have to ask the questions of the town planner, not of the board.
Would you be inclined to continue the hearing pending the issuance of
You
a?
can continue, you guys, as the person that put forth the hearing,
Correct.
can table the hearing at any time and ask the planner to table it. He'll have you fill out the paperwork, and then you guys can get the legal opinion. And that way there, the clock stops with you guys. You know,
Yeah, it's at our request. I
Right, that's
understand,
at
so
your
it's not
request.
constructive, Absolutely.
So that's
You
the
don't
way I
have
would
to-
suggest you do it, is just ask the town planner to table it, and then you can deal with him in the office.
We get town council opinion with respect.
No, not town council, because town council would have nothing to do with it. You would get a legal opinion or talk with him and see if there's something that you could talk with PZC about.
And what would the legal opinion be for?
What was that?
What would the legal opinion be for? Why would we get it? On what would the question that we would ask for a legal opinion on? What would we say?
You would have to talk with him and write something up.
Well, we can write it up but we don't know what you're telling us to do, or at least I don't.
Is there any way you can
Wait.
explain
Can
that,
I, can
Roger?
I, can I offer something, Mr.
Absolutely.
Chairman? So what I would suggest is that you request the matter be tabled tonight, because the commission can act on it. I think you have some new information that you might be able to work on, that we meet, staff and you meet before their next meeting, and then you could decide how you wanted to proceed, and if you can either come back here on the and the next meeting, I think it's the 18th of December, with all the lots merged, looking for, it would be a 325-foot variance and not because the information that we provided you is that this board, that the town does recognize, if you have an address in Enfield, then the town does recognize the portion of your property that's in the adjoining state, and even on your site plan, you would utilize that property for your plan. So there's no objection to that. So you're really looking at a very small variance that you could perhaps look into other ways of accomplishing it between now and the 18th, where you wouldn't need it at all. But by asking it to be tabled, you keep all your options open.
We're happy to do that. Could we set a deadline by which we would meet? Because we don't want to, we'd like to set a deadline by which we would meet with you. We don't want to meet the afternoon before the meeting on the 18th.
Right.
I would
We
do
need some
tomorrow.
time, and that happens all too often. So I'm looking for a deadline.
Yeah, so we'll have a meeting before the week's out.
This week.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Walt.
All right, thank you.
So I guess at this point, you would just need a motion to table and table it.
We don't need a motion because he's tabling it.
Well, he can request it be tabled, but you have to actually table it.
Okay, do I have a motion to table?
So moved.
Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Yeah, if you want to wait, I got. Call them tomorrow, we'll set it up, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Walt.
welcome.
Have a great night.
You too.
In your packets, you will find a draft of the minutes for July 31st. I have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. And we also have a
Minutes.
minutes for October, Monday, October 16th. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Moving right along. Staff reports, correspondence.
Chairman, you'll have two pending applications for your next meeting. One is for 1654 King Street. It's a location approval.
Okay.
That was, they're just completing their paperwork they went to the Planning and Zoning Commission, got a special permit to allow a use there, and now you will be doing the actual location approval. And then the second one is the town's water pollution control plant. When it went before Planning and Zoning Commission at its last meeting, they showed one of the buildings as being in the rear setback, and I advised the Director of Public Works that the P&Z could not approve something that would require a variance. You couldn't approve it subject to a variance. So at that point in time, he said, well, no problem, we'll move the building 5 feet. So the Planning and Zoning Commission approved the water pollution control proposal with a condition that all the buildings on the site be compliant with the zoning regulations, particularly setbacks. That did leave open that if they were to come to the ZBA and get a variance, then at that point they would be compliant. So that doesn't mean that anybody prejudge it. They get one, because I left that meeting thinking they were going to move the building 5 feet. The Woodward and Curran, their consulting engineers, believes that they have an argument for hardship, and so today they filed an application. We haven't read that. We'll get it out to you. So we'll be scheduling that, and you can. We'll get it out to you as soon as possible, and you can make that determination at your meeting on the 18th of December. So you have 2 items next time. Whether this comes back, that would be a third. One is a location approval. One is a traditional variance, rear yard setback.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
I just
That's
take a
it.
peek.
Any old business?
I don't know, I gotta look. Did everybody get their phone numbers and emails to the planning office? If you didn't, please write them down tonight and give them to them. They
I
need 2
believe
phone.
Catherine Plopper got me. You got them to us, right, after that meeting? So
if everybody did it, that's off our list. We talked about adding a doodle survey, so you wouldn't have to call us. So I think I sent the link to you. It's a free app
right.
kind of thing.
We didn't do anything today, and look the results. So maybe we don't.
Well, that's
need to
because
call
we're a very good board
I
that
know,
doesn't need
I
to be
know.
slapped.
We know we have a job to do.
And did Kathy and Andrew get their IDs?
No.
What's holding that up?
I'll send out the email. I'll do it tomorrow morning for the times that are available, and then just email me based on when you guys can go get your IDs. Just email me when it would work out best, and I'll just call the station and let
As
them know.
long as you give a couple times.
Yeah,
bearing
yeah.
in mind that-
It's like Tuesday through Friday
Okay.
until like 2 o'clock, I think, or something like that. So-
Yeah.
Kathy
give us a
works
few
during
options.
the day.
Okay.
I can accomplish it during the day, but I need some options.
All right, yep, I'll send it to you. They didn't really give us like appointment type things.
Okay.
It's like you can walk in and
When,
ask for
are you talking about the
officer.
police department? Could you please tell them that we have one of our commissioners that cannot work those hours, so they need to do it after hours?
Okay. Yep.
Okay? And see what they'll accommodate. Everybody else has a badge, right? Okay. I will keep those on our open lists.
Any new business? Well, that's it. Half an hour. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Meeting's adjourned.